Hey, welcome to the 50 Most Influential Leaders in Pharmacy 2024. My name is Todd Urey, founder of the Pharmacy Podcast. This is a celebration today. I cannot believe that it's the 2024 season already. This year, 2024 went by so quickly. I am so excited how many of you got involved in the voting. I want to say thank you to our voters. I want to say thank you to our sponsors, IPC. And I want to also note how this is expanded. This whole awards program has expanded because of the pharmacy industry embracing each other. 1 second. See, I did it again. I want to also note how that's what happens when you're live. That's what happens when you're live. Sometimes you have mistakes. What are you going to do? Hey, I have a partner in crime with me today. I want to introduce Greg. You are with RX Insider. And you are a pharmacist and you're a rock star, and you've really helped the Pharmacy Podcast Network with the 2024 event. Say hello to the listeners out there.
Hello, listeners, and thanks, Todd, for inviting me. We watched this from afar last year, but this year we're actually a part of the Pharmacy 50 award ceremonies, and it's an honor. So thank you for the invite and including us.
Absolutely. I want to just say a shout out to RX Insider. Thank you for investing in the program, raising up the names and the award winners. This has been a long time coming for us to be able to work together. Greg, quickly tell the listeners and people that are watching the concept of the Pharmacy 500, which is 10 times the Pharmacy 50.
Sure. Well, RX Insider, we've been historically a marketing and communications company. We have a few different publications, a virtual pharmacy trade show. This year, we launched a whole market research and education side to the business. But our focus over the last 25 years has really been the operations supply chain sector and within pharmacy. So those are the wholesalers like Cardinal and McKesson, the automation companies like Script Pro, all the technology companies, all those companies that support pharmacies from an operations standpoint. And this past year, we developed if you want to call it an award, but a designation to this group, and we call it the Pharmacy 500. So those are 500 of, I don't want to say the most impactful, but impactful companies within the operations supply chain. So those are companies like Cardinal, McKesson, and all of your technology companies that support pharmacies. So it's kind of a cool thing being a part of the Pharmacy 50, which are individual pharmacists, whereas we have the Pharmacy 500, which are companies as well as the associations out there.
I love it. I just don't think we get enough attention as an industry that's embedded into healthcare. When we think of the pharmaceutical organizations, we think of technology. There's so much happening inside pharmacy that even our own cohorts in pharmacy don't understand, to unravel a PBM or unravel digital therapeutics. So this is why the Pharmacy 50 is so important to me. It's an award that it's an award that we started in 2021. This is the 4th annual awards, and it's just important to support each other. It's important to recognize each other's expertise and raise each other up. So I want listeners, I want you to challenge yourselves today. I want you, if you want to go to pharmacy50.us, you'll have the listing of every single one of the award winners. I want you to link up, go to LinkedIn and link up with every single one of the Pharmacy 50. Introduce yourself and watch the power of networking and be able to rely on these individuals. If you ever needed something in the future of some of their expertise, just reach out to them and let them know who you are, that you saw them on the Pharmacy 50 awards program. And that's how we continue to grow as an industry. All right. Without further ado, Greg, we're going to get started with the 50 most influential leaders in pharmacy. And I'm excited about this. All right. Once again, shout out to RX Insider and Independent Pharmacy Cooperative. IPC is one of our clients. They mean the world to us. Their technology division through iCare Plus is just phenomenal. You'll be hearing a lot about that in 2025. And once again, a shout out to our sponsors. Thanks so much for helping us with today's Pharmacy 50 Awards. All right, so we have voting categories. So votes came in over a period of about a month, November 15th, I think, to about December 20th. Independent pharmacy, entrepreneurship, advocacy, specialty pharmacy, digital health and technology, retail pharmacy, long-term care, consultant pharmacy, health system. And a shout out to Mike Johnston. He reached out and he says, "Where are my pharmacy technicians?" And so for the 2024 alumni season, we have added pharmacy technicians. So each of these categories have grown. The number one category was the independent pharmacy category at 26.8% of all of the votes. And then consultant pharmacy down there was a little bit smaller. And then, Greg, I was surprised to see the expansion of our entrepreneurship. I mean, entrepreneurship is growing. We have 305,000 active pharmacists in the United States. If you were to make a guess, what percentage of them do you think are entrepreneurs? Not counting pharmacy owners, because
I was just going to say,
yeah.
are we counting,
so I'm talking about the people that are doing just entrepreneur stuff.
Unfortunately, not many. If I had to throw a number out there, I don't know. 2,000.
Yeah.
But when you look at the whole scheme of things, that's not that many. And we're in such a dynamic industry, and there are so many opportunities out there. It'd be great to see more and more doing more and more things that are non-traditional types of initiatives.
Yep. All right, let's give a shout out to introducing the 50 most influential leaders in pharmacy. This is the cohort 2024 alumni. But once you're a Pharmacy 50, you are always a Pharmacy 50. So reach out to the other Pharmacy 50 winners. Everything's published at the Pharmacy Podcast Network's website, pharmacypodcast.com, or you could just go to pharmacy50.us. And with that, we should have a drum beat right now. Number 50 coming in, the CEO of RX Preferred, Jeff Malone. He is a champion, redefining the PBM that's out there. I've known Jeff for, goodness gracious, 12 years. I'm getting old. And he's always been a fighter, and he's been recognized as a leader, and he is a leader. Want to give a shout out to Anisha Patel. Anisha and I started working together about a year ago. She joined the Pharmacy Podcast Network. She's teaching pharmacists, clinicians, nurses how to podcast, how to level up their podcast. And her and her husband, I always call him the cheat code, Sanjay, we have a special series going out. It's a 3-part series teaching you absolutely what you should be looking out in order to become a professional level up podcaster. And she received votes and got into the Pharmacy 50, coming in at 49. All right, we have Benjamin Jolly, Dr. Jolly. If you know PBMs, if you know of the talk out there, if you know the analytics, you know that this guy is brilliant. He does a lot of podcasting. He does a ton of writing. I want to give a shout out to Benjamin. I love your work. Keep going. Let us know how we can actually help you advance your advocacy, and congratulations. Coming in at number 47, I think Sue is a returning Pharmacy 50 award winner. She's an entrepreneur. She has a platform about matching your expert in some field with someone that wants to learn more about it through mentors. The Pharmacy Mentors is a growing organization. We're very excited. Want to work with Sue more. A shout out to you, Sue, and I want to congratulate you for making the Pharmacy 50, coming in at number 47. All right, next up, Derek Borkowski. I tell you what, this guy, Dr. Derek, is a PharmD. He's a technologist. He launched Pearls, which is a learning platform for our pharmacists. This thing has taken fire. I'd love to work more with what Pearls is doing, but he's a real leader in technology and how you go an untraditional path of being a pharmacist and then you become a technology leader and entrepreneur. So a shout out to you, Derek, and congratulations for your votes and for making the list. Up next, number 45, Lornica Joseph. I met Lornica at a podcasting, consumer podcasting gathering, and she is all over the place. She's been doing a lot of content development. She has been a beacon of light, and she's uplifting, and she's awesome. She just she is inspirational, and I just want to say congratulations, Lornica, for making the Pharmacy 50. The ranking is has just expanded. We had a 30% uptick in votes, so anybody that made this list had enough significant votes to really make a stand and take this award, use this award to inspire others and help others. Chris Antipas, Dr. Antipas, a fellow Pittsburgher, is no stranger to the Pharmacy 50 Awards. He's been multiple times on the awards. He is a serial entrepreneur, might even be into the psycho side of things of how much he's doing. President of the Pennsylvania Pharmacists Association, specialty pharmacy, clinical treatment, technology platforms. I'm proud to know Chris. I just want to say congratulations coming in at number 44 and making the list again. All right, a shout out to Jordan Smith. Dr. Smith is a medical science liaison coming in at number 43, watching her post all the time on LinkedIn. A breath of fresh air, somebody that's a leader, somebody that really takes pride in her work and what she's doing. And I just want to give you a shout out, Jordan. Congratulations in making this list. Jenna Quinn, Dr. Quinn, one of my favorite people, just in definitely in pediatrics, but as a pharmacist, building a rock star team. We met up with Jenna and her team at HLTH, and they were swarmed with people at their booth. I think they should have had a bigger booth. They had one of those littler booths, but the popularity of perfecting peds is just taking fire. Perfecting peds, look that up. But connect with Jenna Quinn on LinkedIn, and congratulations that your peers recognized you as one of the 50 most influential people in our industry and in pharmacy. Congratulations, Jenna. Have you heard of Jenna Quinn, Greg?
I have not had the pleasure of meeting her yet, but I
definitely look her up. She is a mother of 3 daughters, I believe, and I got to witness her. I think it was her youngest daughter came with her to the Pennsylvania Pharmacists Association annual meeting last year, and she did a presentation. Her daughter attended it with her, and her daughter, as she came down off the stage, she said, "So how'd mommy do, honey?" And she goes, "It's boring." And I'm like, well, at least you had like some honest feedback, you know? And so that's what you get for bringing your daughter to a presentation about medication management. All right. We're going to take kind of a short break to pipe in this next winner, Jonathan Ogrechak. I've known him for 10 some years. I would like to welcome him to the Pharmacy Podcast Network studios. Jonathan, it is so good to see you here and have you here. And congratulations on being one of the Pharmacy 50 most influential people.
I'm honored to be here, and I'm can't tell you how excited I am. I've been watching you build this and grow this over the last couple of years. So to actually be included with some of these names that are on the list, it's kind of a very humbling experience for sure.
Tell our listeners what you do in pharmacy and where'd you graduate from? What pharmacy school did you go to?
So I went to Duquesne University School of Pharmacy here in Pittsburgh, graduated about 16 years ago, and have been in specialty pharmacy pretty much the entirety of that career. So I was at Accredo doing big corporate specialty programs for rare disease. Left and was one of the principals at Panther Specialty for a number of years, and then left to actually go start a software company. So still running software company today, which is called Stack, and we have a couple of products that focus on clinical patient management, outcomes management, et cetera. And over the last 2 years, we've opened another specialty pharmacy here in Pittsburgh that's using said software, and it's kind of like our little test kitchen, just to try things out, make sure that it works, prove it out, and make sure that you're good to go.
There's someone told me that your first to make your first million is a backbreaker, and to launch your first company is also a backbreaker. But then to get your second and your third, it almost becomes, now you know the secret sauce. Now you're dialing in. I think that's happening to you.
I certainly hope so. My wife certainly hopes so too. I can tell you that much. And my kids, you're talking about the kids before. Like it's, we've evolved, because when I started the software company, it was pre-COVID lockdowns, people working at home, and my kids would go to school and say, well, hey, what's your dad do for a living? Oh, he's a pharmacist. Where does he work? Oh, he works in the basement. And like, get some odd looks whenever you're talking about that to to a teacher, especially coming from McKees Rocks and those sorts of things. So, it's I certainly hope that we're at that kind of turning point, because it's two very different business models in running a software company versus running a pharmacy. And whereas software wise, what it needs to be, how I have to do it, and you're kind of charting your own course. Whereas when you're running the pharmacy, you get to kind of follow in the trails of somebody else's research development, all of that. And you're dispensing other commercial products that somebody else has been a labor of love for them. So we're kind of getting a little bit of both sides here now. And it's good to see that it's all really coming together. Yeah.
And I think you're able to test out the Stack efficiency and effectiveness on your own pharmacy. But I think that's awesome to be able to see if this is really going to work, and what tweaks you can make for the rest of your clients.
Well, and it's really great too, because oftentimes, I think I might have told you the story once before, but when I would talk to software customers and say, hey, could you think of a program where you could put a smart device, a smart scale in a patient's home, and you can track their weights going up or going down? When you would start to tell these sorts of stories to other pharmacists, pharmacists are very black and white kind of people. So whenever they would hear that, they'd just kind of glaze over. They wouldn't necessarily. But now we can build the test case. We could build those case studies, show them out, prove them out. And now it makes it a heck of a lot easier to try to bring those things to life in broader form for those other customers, because we could prove it. We could show that it works. We could show how it works, and really help to give them the keys to make it happen.
I love it. Well, thank you for coming down to the studios, and I want to congratulate you making the Pharmacy 50, coming in at number 41. We're excited to have you here, and just want to say congratulations.
Thank you again. Appreciate it.
Congratulations.
All right. We're going to keep going. We got a list to go through. Coming in at number 40, Brandy Chain. Shout out to Brandy. She is a pharmacy owner, community pharmacy owner, coming in at number 40. I've corresponded with her a couple times. Got to get her on the podcast. Going to be doing a lot of follow-up interviews with our Pharmacy 50. Exciting to see that pharmacy owners are taking control of their own destinies. They are coming out with cash programs, a lot of creativity. I think community pharmacy is going to be a much different environment than what we've ever seen before. And it has to, with the competitiveness of what's happened, and obviously the onslaught of our PBMs, the three-letter bad word that's out there. Shout out to Fiona. Fiona came to the Pharmacy 50 Awards last year. Fiona Sartoretto Verna is a pharmacy designer. She's in Dubai right now. And we just want to give a shout out to Fiona for being such a visionary of what pharmacy could look like into the future, to make it look more of a healthcare destination. Look up Fiona on LinkedIn. I'm not sure, Greg, if you've ever seen any of her work, but it's just gorgeous layouts.
I was just going to say that you should look her up and look at some of their design work. It's unbelievable.
I just got done saying about cash-based systems. Fiona's environments create a way to go deeper into cosmetics and skincare and boutique-oriented, and you can even sell clothes on the side or something. But the whole atmosphere of what she brings is just level up in what you're doing and your design. So look her up, see if that's right for you and your pharmacy, even a hospital system pharmacy and waiting rooms they've worked on. But congratulations, Fiona, for being a repeat Pharmacy 50 winner. Hey, Sean Jensen, quick story about Sean. Congratulations, Sean, coming in at number 38. Sean is our programmer now. He has a custom software company, has a team of people that design software specifically. His champion sector has been specialty. He really concentrates on specialty. He's designed for the Pharmacy Podcast Network a state-of-the-art metric system that we're going to be releasing probably sometime next month. I cannot wait to release this, but it's going to take our metrics to a whole nother level so that our clients and our listeners and our hosts can really understand what subjects are working, what isn't maybe as popular. But I just want to give a shout out to Sean and his team for all the work that they put into this system. I cannot wait to show the listeners, I cannot wait to show our clients what he's built and how well this has gone. It's just exciting. So I feel I finally have a technology system in place that I don't have to worry about metrics. I was doing all my metrics, Greg, by Excel spreadsheets, and I was doing it all basically almost manual. And it was like horrible because all of the platforms are set up like Podbean. We use Podbean, right? They give us a ton of data, but we have to do it for 42 podcasts, so it's like we all get it in one clump and then we have to sit there and divide. And so his system is going to just revolutionize the whole system.
That'll be great. That's something I can certainly relate to. And when I started RX Insider in 2000, it was pretty much recruitment marketing. So resumes would come in, and that's what people paid us for. And we didn't have a good analytics tool built for us. So I would actually count up the resumes that came in and sent my clients individual reports that I just from like physically counting emailed resumes. So it's better when you have the technology working for you.
It is. It's much better. And it also goes back to the importance of technology and how important it is in, my goodness, in pharmacy. And so if you are a specialty pharmacy, check out Sean Jensen, check out JB Consulting, and we'll be talking more about Sean and his team on Twerks. So stay tuned. All right. A shout out to Jenny Bingham. Dr. Bingham, her award comes in at number 37 ranking, and she is in digital health and technology. And just want to encourage you, Jenny, to definitely follow up with us. Let's get you on Twerks. Let's tell your story. Let's slow it down, because of just stories really help us to connect the dots. And we'd love to have you back. So I just want to say congratulations to you. All right. Once again, another pause. I want to bring on to this a rock star in my book, making the list at number 36, the CEO and founder of RX Mile. This guy, Kunal Viaz, is an absolute rock star. Kunal, I'm so excited that you're here. Thank you for piping in and seeing us. Thank you for coming to the show, and congratulations.
Thank you, Todd. I appreciate that. And I want to congratulate all the other people who have received this award. I'm honored to receive this award. It's just the beginning for me. It's my first time, right? So I got a lot more work to put in to help this independent pharmacy market thrive the way it was when I owned a pharmacy almost a couple of decades ago. But yeah, so I'm here as the advocate for us. Whatever we got to push, if I got to go run to Washington, I will. We want to make sure that everybody who is on the forefront, the first line of defense in the sense of healthcare professions, which is pharmacists, to be treated with respect. And I'm using technology as a way to do that. Delivery is a big component in it, and we appreciate the opportunity and the ability to be here with you guys today. Real honored.
Absolutely. So describe to our listeners, just in case they don't know about RX Mile, the logistics technology that you put into place to make delivery seamless, to make it trackable. You're also partnering up with some of the most professional organizations throughout the country. You handpick these driver organizations So it's not just some, Uber driver. It's someone who really designs delivery to homes and how important the expansion of home care is. Talk to our listeners a little bit about RX Mile.
So RxMile is a pure SaaS platform. When I was a pharmacy owner, I used to have my own drivers. We used to deliver about 500 packages a day. So I kind of built the platform out of necessity to make sure we abided by all PBM contractual obligations, signature logs, everything we needed for 10 years worth of record keeping. And from there, once I sold my pharmacy in 2019, I decided that the same way I used it, we can try to also provide this for other pharmacies. And then from there, we got a lot of requests from pharmacy owners who said, we want a hybrid model. We have some drivers, but we'd like to outsource it. So that's when we started building a nationwide network of courier companies that go through a vetting process to be in our network, understanding what PHI stands for. Their drivers are taking HIPAA compliant annual quizzes. So therefore, when these people are delivering medications, you're keeping the same continuity of the same driver delivering in the same area for the patients. Because essentially, that driver, in most cases, and many pharmacy owners can concede to this, is they become the face of your pharmacy. So as we know, especially in underserved and rural areas, it's very hard for people to be able to get to these pharmacies. So we wanted to make sure that we've got the ecosystem that will aggregate the pharmacy, which is the product, providing the prescription drugs, and aggregate the logistics, which is the compliant delivery network nationwide, or they'd use their own drivers to make sure we can touch every nook and cranny in this country. And so far, the support that I've been getting from the independent pharmacy community, due to one thing we believe, our integrations must be completely seamless with our PMS platforms. So we're always here to improve our product. We don't believe we've done anything yet. We got a lot more to do. And we appreciate the support that everybody has given us throughout the whole industry, from the NCPA to Catalyst Connect events we've been at. And you, Todd, for sure, you've really given us a voice, and I appreciate that. And RX Insiders, I appreciate. I do speak to Mr. Ratcliffe, part of your team, a lot. And yes, I'm just here to be as engrossed into this industry as much as I can to make the change.
Well, you made the list. Your peers believe in you. Want to congratulate you. Can't wait to do more with you. And I just want to say congratulations.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate that. And everybody have a great day.
Congratulations.
Absolutely. All right. Continuing. If you don't know Kunal, if you haven't ever met him, you got to look him up when you go to an NCPA conference or one of the conferences. His whole team is just vibrant. They're just filled with energy and excitement. And that's what we need to get through these days. All right. Ali LaStella, Dr. Ali LaStella is a entrepreneur, and she does special writing, medical writing. Look her up on LinkedIn, a brand new to the Pharmacy 50 Awards. A shout out to you, Ali. Please be ready to come back to This Week in Pharmacy, because I would like to dig into your story and tell more pharmacists how you've built what you've built, because the future of where our pharmacists are going, we're going to have more entrepreneurs, and I'd like them to understand how you took writing in pharmacy and mashed it up and built what you've built. So congratulations on making the list. Mohammad Tegar, Dr. Tegar is in the long-term care pharmacy sector. I want to give you a shout out of making the Pharmacy 50 list at number 34. Mohammad, we have to have you on Twerks once again this week in pharmacy to really dig in what you're doing. Understanding the expansion of our geriatric pharmacy is just going to be exploding over the next 5-10 years. And we're going to need more people that are going to be tuned into the needs of people that are staying in long-term care organizations and long-term care at home. That's actually the real expansion of long-term care, is going to be LTC at home. But congratulations, Mohammad. Okay, Christopher Bowens, Dr. Bowens, he's coming in at number 33. Give a shout out to you, Christopher. You've been such a great support of mine. I've been linked up to Christopher now for about 5 years. If you want somebody that is positive, that has really good writing style and describing what's happening in our health system pharmacies and hospital system pharmacies, a shout out to you, Christopher, for making the list. Very proud of you. in what you're doing in your health system pharmacy. Please plan to come to This Week in Pharmacy. We want to dig in of all of the sectors of pharmacy that we have, Greg. Our least covered sector is hospital system pharmacy. So really, and I understand the reason, probably because of the work shifts and different things that are happening with not really having the time. People probably ask me to podcast on a Saturday, and I get in trouble if I work 7 days a week instead of 6 days a week. But hospital system pharmacy. So Chris, be our guy. Come back to Twerks and talk to us and dig into health system pharmacy. But congratulations. Coming in at number 32. All right. I got to just take a break for just a quick second. I want to tell you a quick story. I want to tell you a story about she's known as Kat or Katie. Katrina is her full name, Dr. Katrina Forbes. I learned about Katrina from TikTok. She is a TikTok star. Look her up on LinkedIn, try to find her on TikTok. It didn't go away like I thought it was going to go away. And she teaches consumers in very jovial, funny descriptions of, and even sarcasm, just what's happening in pharmacy to the consumer perspective and how important it is that we have more pharmacists on social media describing to people and patients about what's actually going on in different conditions, things that they're worried about. Greg, I am so impressed with the way and how much content. I think she puts out one. Oh my goodness, it has to be almost once a day. Might be, I don't know, more than that, but I know it's very frequent. And the description of things that she's demystifying for consumers is just amazing. So look, do you have a TikTok account?
I do.
I do. So
I
you're
do.
just a follower.
It can be a little addicting. Yeah, I don't. You don't want me creating any content, especially any clinically oriented content these days.
Look her up. Congratulations, coming at number 32, Katrina Forbes, Dr. Forbes. We will have you back on Twerks for sure. Double thumbs up for all your work. Congratulations. Okay, Alton McClone. I want to say congratulations to Dr. Alton in specialty pharmacy, coming in at number 31. I'm excited to have met him. Didn't even know him until he got this award. And now I've reached out to him on LinkedIn. We're going to be having him back also on This Week in Pharmacy because I want to feature what you're doing in specialty pharmacy and the disease state management and how specialty pharmacy is really exploding. And it's a really good opportunity to dig deeper in to the individual pharmacists that are making a difference in the complexities sometimes of pharmacology and then managing disease states. So congratulations to you, Alton, for making the awards this year. And like I said, once you're an alumni, you're always part of the Pharmacy 50 family. If you post anything about Pharmacy 50, please use hashtag Pharmacy 50. Hey, this is a special award. This is a special winner. I want to give a shout out to Bill Schmitnick. I couldn't believe that he made this is voting. We just, for everybody's listeners' knowledge, we don't control who gets voted for, but in the ecosystem of pharmacy, to see Bill make the list as number 30 most influential person in pharmacy in advocacy, it actually gives me chills. And the reason is because Bill lost his son to mismanagement of PBMs, and what you don't want to do is you don't want to make a calm, honey-eating bear an angry bear. And he is absolutely that. But he's intelligent. He's well-spoken. He understands business. And now he's going to be backed by an organization that's going to utilize what he went through as a father who lost his son. He lost Cole, mismanagement of a PBM that didn't give his son his inhaler when he needed it. It was over the cost that he could afford. He said, am I going to pay my rent this month, or am I going to pay for this inhaler? He left the pharmacy, had problems on and off for about a day or two, and then passed away the next day. And nobody realized it was as serious as it was. Cole's very independent, really didn't want to make a stink about it with his his family or his friends. And now Bill is making a mission. He's working with PUT, Pharmacists United for Truth and Transparency. He's a fighter. Pharmacy Podcast Network will do everything in our power to support his mission, what he's doing. His social media has caught fire, and there's just there's a road ahead for Bill and his wife and the Schmitnick family to make a difference in our industry, to make a difference in our profession. And I am so proud that he's made the list. And I want to say a shout out to the voters, everybody that voted for Bill, whoever you are out there. I want you to know how much this means to us, how much this means to the awards, that you mix in the consumer, the parent, the provider out there. The first provider that we all have is one of our moms or our dads, and this guy's fighting for his son and his reputation. Just a shout out to the Schmitnick family, and congratulations, Bill, that you are being recognized by the profession, and the profession knows, and we're coming up alongside you, and we're here to help. So congratulations. We will have Bill back on for much deeper dive stories, but if you want to link up with him, it's Bill Schmitnick. Look him up on LinkedIn, and we're excited that he's part of this, absolutely part of this. Coming in at number 29, and we say a repeat offender, I guess, but it's not really an offense of any kind, is the creative genius of Josh Parastani, behind the scenes SEO rock star, runs a company now called Dispense Marketing and Dispense Times. Dispense Times is one of the partner publications of the Pharmacy Podcast Network. The votes always seem to come in for Josh because of his touch and his influence on the pharmacy market and how he raises people up in their voice and the way that he does it. Very creative guy. Have you seen of any of Josh's creative work out there?
I have, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks fantastic.
Yeah, it really is. We're just excited about the expansion of the content, but congratulations, Josh. Just give a shout out to you. All right, Katrina Azur. Katrina Azur is an entrepreneur. She is thought of as one of the leaders, leading pharmacists, the number one leading pharmacist out of New Zealand. She made the list because of her advocacy and her work as being an entrepreneur in pharmacogenomics. She's also working with the Pharmacy Podcast Network. She has her show on the network. She has a very popular show on the network. And she will be helping us with a conference that we're going to be putting together. It's going to be a virtual conference that we're going to have coming out in April. So be on the lookout for that. And we're going to really dig into where are we at with pharmacogenomics? How can we leverage PGX more? How can we get paid for PGX, for goodness sakes? Of all of the aspects of pharmacy, Greg, in my world and what I've learned to do, PGX has been one of the most complex, but it's also been one of the most fascinating. And that is to be able to take a test and know if a medication, I'm going to be able to break it down and absorb it the way that it was intended. And I think what this is going to do, and I'm a conspiracy theorist about PGX, but I think the reason that PGX hasn't taken fire like it really should have is I think there are organizations out there that are just like, is this going to turn into a litigious thing? Is this going to be rampant and getting sued for something that's only working for 50% of the population that we design it for? But then the good side of PGX is we're going to be able to dial in, and I think we're going to see one component of a medication maybe slightly be differential for another group of patients based on the test data that comes through, so that we can dial into medications and really hone in on. And so I'm excited to see where PGX is going, but congratulations to Katrina Azur for making the list, number 28 of Pharmacy 50. Okay, Jennifer Morrison, specialty pharmacist and Lumicera organization, made the list last year as well. Lumicera has been out there in specialty pharmacy. I love the team. I love your representation of specialty pharmacy, the care that you provide, the ecosystem that you provide for your patients, and the whole surrounding of the whole ecosystem of what you do. A shout out to you, Jennifer, Dr. Morrison, for making the list. You you and your team came down last year. You were here for the Pharmacy 50 Awards, and then we met up at the NASP, and we had an opportunity to really talk about how complex getting paid for certain medications can be in the world of the PBMs, but how teams of our specialty pharmacy are standing alongside their patients, and how Jennifer is one of those champions. And that's the reason you made the list, Jennifer, is because your peers recognize the excellence in the delivery that you're giving to patients. So I just want to say congratulations. Okay, Courtney Smith, a returning Pharmacy 50 award winner. The reason is because she touches so many sectors of pharmacy. She started out as a pharmacy student and was very involved in advocacy, worked with the Pennsylvania Pharmacists Association. And when she got her license, she became a PharmD. She did not stop. She kept going. She dug into her specialty. She dug into what she liked the most. Now she's in the specialty pharmacy sector. Courtney does a lot of writing. She is one of the sweetest people I've ever met. She's one of my personal friends as well. Votes have come in for Courtney in just being someone who stands out and is ready to help and doesn't expect much at all in anything that she gets back from what she does for associations and people and her patients, and served for a long time in the retail sector. So really understands both sides. And I think with the way that she's moved in her career, I expect bigger things, and I want to be a part of it. I want to be your PR agent, Courtney. We'll talk about that later. Call me. All right. Want to take kind of another pause to tell you a story about this next award winner coming in at number 25. I want to give a shout out to Alita Postel, who's leading the Walmart Specialty Pharmacy Division. I'm so proud of what Alita has built. She has a lot on her shoulders. She has a lot of people relying on her from the gargantuan, big, huge corporation that Walmart is, in making sense of the specialty pharmacy sector within Walmart Pharmacy. I've talked to Alita. I've had her on the show several times at NASP, the National Association of Specialty Pharmacies. I love her energy and just the sincerity of Alita, and really caring and being a leader. So Alita, I want to congratulate you for making the Pharmacy 50. Your peers recognize your excellence. And I know that people in your position that get blamed for everything sometimes don't get that kind of recognition. So I just want to say congratulations. Walmart shows up on the Pharmacy 50. Tell me that's not cool, Greg.
That's very cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll have to come back to Walmart and be like, hey, if you want to make a poster for Alita and put it in a couple of your pharmacies and be like, get your specialty meds here too. And look, she's one of the Pharmacy 50 most influential people.
Yeah.
Okay, Dr. Brent Edison, digital health and technology and pharmacy, how important this is and making sense of it. A shout out to Brent for making the list, a new guy on the list, new pharmacist on the list. We're excited. We want to, once again want to unpack some of these people because we only have so much time to cover all these award winners. But Brent, please reach out to the staff at Pharmacy Podcast Network. Let's get you on Twerks. Want to dig into the technology and what you're doing, how it's making a difference in your life as a PharmD, and your transition from where you started. Maybe you started in retail or some other sector, and how you got into technology. Because there's a lot of pharmacists out there that do want to make these transitions. And that's something that I was talking to Greg about too before we got started. And that is, you went through that, Greg. You went to pharmacy school up in Connecticut. You went to be a pharmacist. Just quickly tell our listeners, what was that transition to publishing from being a pharmacist to becoming to doing it full time? Goodness gracious.
Yeah, well, it did start in the technology side of things. And sorry to correct you, Todd, but it was Rhode Island.
Rhode Island.
Rhode Island, yeah.
Oh, Connecticut, Rhode Island, yeah. All the same.
It all kind of mixes in for everyone up there. Yeah, well, I was working for CVS full time and almost as a hobby. I taught myself a little bit of web development work, and through that developed just a job board for pharmacists back in 2000 when we had that huge need for pharmacists, and it was a massive shortage. So the timing was kind of cool, but it's a bit self-taught starting, at that point, and that's sort of what got me rolling into what RX Insiders turned out to be. I of course hired professional
Yeah.
developers, at a certain point back then. But it's been a fascinating and really eye-opening journey, and a lot of fun. So, I took the RX Insider path, but we also built technology for the colleges of pharmacy called Core.
Mhm.
So anyone who's listening, if you're a preceptor, you may be using Core ELMS, and that was a SaaS product that we built. And I want to say 135 colleges of pharmacy use it now to manage the experiential component of the curriculum. So that's something we're very proud of. But that was a hell of a journey too. That was a lot of fun. And selling to universities isn't the easiest thing. It's not for the faint of heart, but it was a lot of fun.
The reason why I wanted you to tell that story is because the transition for pharmacists, it's a pathway that many pharmacists want to take. They say, listen, I enjoyed my time in retail, but I want to get out. So Brent, I want you to come back and I want you to tell us the story of technology and being a pharmacist and how important that is, because we have to have more pharmacists out there that are fusing very specifics into these technology programs or APIs or full pharmacy management systems and what it does for patient care. So congratulations making the Pharmacy 50 list, Brent. Okay. Quick story about Mr. Mike Johnston, certified pharmacy technician, passionate about pharmacy and supporting pharmacy technicians and how the role of the pharmacist is changing. And so is the role of the pharmacy technician. And it was Mike. He's been my friend for, 10, 12 years now. And I got an email from him back in November when we started the voting. And he said, where are pharmacy technicians on this list? And I was like, that's it. We have to get techs on there. Pharmacy technicians are doing so much more than what they used to be doing. They're running pharmacies, they're designing workflow. Mike is an advocate for our pharmacy technician. He runs the National Pharmacy Technician Association, the NPTA. Mike is a rock star, and his cohorts and his peers recognize him as one of the most influential people changing pharmacy care based on the support that he gives to our techs. So a shout out to Mike Johnston for all your work.
It's great. It's great seeing Mike on this list. And just amazing what he's done with NPTA.
It is
over the last, it's going on 30 years. I think.
Oh my goodness. That long.
I think so. Yeah. It was late 90s when he launched it. If I'm maybe wrong on that, but it's wonderful seeing Mike here.
Absolutely. Congratulations, Mike. You got to come back to Twerks so we can do some twerksing and talk to you more about what you're doing. Mike has a podcast that we are now partnered up. We're going to rebroadcast and put it out there because of the pharmacy technicians that are tuning in. We want those listeners to understand other parts of the industry, to be able to say, am I a technician? Am I in retail? Maybe I should be in long-term care. Maybe I should be in technology. But the techs, as the evolution of pharmacy continues to grow, it's going to be the techs that are going to really help uplift our pharmacists to do what they need to do. So congratulations, Mike, making the list. Coming in at number 22 is Mr. Frank Harvey. Frank is the CEO of SureScripts, and he is a rock star. He's recognized as an innovator. I've seen his team all over the place. I've interviewed Frank before. He's brilliant. He's not a stuffy CEO. He's not like snobby or anything. He's so down to earth. He's warm, but he's so intelligent, and he understands how technology moves pharmacy forward, how SureScripts is so pivotal to so many of the transactions, the millions and millions, if not billions and trillions of transactions that are happening But I want to give a shout out to you, Frank. Want to invite you back on This Week in Pharmacy so we can dig into what you're doing, what you see as the future, how SureScripts is going to continue to evolve. But I just want to say congratulations that your peers recognized you as one of the 50 most influential people in leaders in pharmacy. Congratulations, Frank. We're excited that you made the list. Okay, this guy is no stranger to social media and to being active in changing the game as the godfather of deprescribing of pharmacy, the RX godfather of deprescribing, DeLong Canterbury. Dr. Canterbury is a rock star. He's a blogger. He's a podcaster. He shows up and he talks about, hey, is your patient on 22 medications? And maybe you only need 8 of those 22 medications. How do we get you off and deprescribe and put in holistic medicine into the whole mix? Have you ever heard DeLon speak at all?
I have not, no.
Yeah, you definitely have to look him up. Go to his LinkedIn and just listen to him and his gentleness, his intelligence. Just shout out to you, DeLon, for all your work and what you're doing to make changes in our industry, to make changes for the seniors that are relying on our long-term care pharmacists and our consultant pharmacists. I'm excited to see that you made the list. Your peers recognize you as one of the most influential people in pharmacy. Coming in at number 21, Dr. DeLon Canterbury. Congratulations, DeLon. Okay, I think a repeat Pharmacy 50 coming in at number 20, Tamar Lawful. Tamar, Dr. Lawful has been on the Pharmacy Podcast several programs. She did a special shakedown of the Symptomatic podcast that's put out by iHeart Media, and we did a roundtable on Symptomatic, which is a medical mystery podcast. She's just amazing. Something else that Tamar does that I don't understand a lot about, that I want to know more about just for my personal life, is nutrigenomics and how nutrigenomics will continue to expand, and understanding what ingredients, what substances, what foods should I be eating versus what Greg should be eating. You know, Greg, are you allergic to anything?
No.
No, I'm not allergic to anything either. But I will say that if I eat Italian food and then I eat something dairy, whether that's ice cream or whatever, I do myself in for the rest of the evening. So I don't mix any of those anymore. And I don't know if I took a nutrigenomics test, it would help me dial into some more of that or whatever, but I'm interested in learning more about that.
I'd like to figure out what red wine does to me, because that puts me out pretty quick too. So maybe a nutrigenomics test could help me out in that area as well.
If you're not connected with Tamar, please go to LinkedIn, Tamar Lawful. Connect with her. Just a beacon of knowledge and really getting big on social media. I see a ton of TikTok and a lot of content coming out. So congratulations, Tamar. All right. Coming in at number 19 of the Pharmacy 50 most influential is Jessica Biel, Dr. Jessica Biel Stahl, a sports pharmacy champion, the Sports Pharmacy Network. She's a writer there. She's a podcaster. We can't wait to have her on Twerk. She's promised me that she's coming. Our schedules don't align like they should because we're all both so busy. But I just want to congratulate you, Jessica, for what you're doing for pharmacy and pharmacy care, specifically in athletics, and how the athletic sector of pharmacy is expanding. And we need more pharmacists to dial into their high schools, their local colleges, the NCAA, a pro division. And how could a pharmacist make a difference in your performance as someone who is a high performer, a runner, a swimmer, something? But I think it's fascinating. I love seeing that pharmacy and pharmacist is there. And Jessica, you're a superstar. So we're glad that you made the list. Thank you, voters, for people that voted for Jessica. And we expect more. I can't wait to have you back on Twerks. Jessica, please remember.
For the record, Todd, she has my favorite headshot so far.
of the behind the scenes, getting ready to mix it up.
Yeah, mixing something up. Yeah.
All right. Number 18, Chimia Enyo. Chimia, Dr. Enyo is coming in at number 18, a clinical pharmacist. Tons of votes that came in from you. So you told all of your cohorts and your people to vote for you. A great job. We've got to have you back on Twerk so we can dig into your background and what you're doing, how you're making a difference. Excited that you made the list, a brand new name. And like I said, you and your peers recognize you as one of the 50 most influential people in pharmacy. There's reasons for that. We didn't have enough time to be able to go through, like I said to Greg before we got started, I went crazy last year. I went through every person 50. I think we had like 38 people show up, and I think I talked for 3.5 hours straight. So we're like, listen, we can't Joe Rogan this. We got to limit this to about 1.5 hours. So we're on track. But Dr. Enyo, please reach out to us. We'd like to do a follow-up with you on Twerks, and I want to say congratulations. All right. This guy, just his picture makes me laugh. The sarcasm, the intelligence, the poise. This guy should be a stand-up comedian. Walter Onsanye. Dr. Onsanye is an entrepreneur. He's a TikTok star. He's a content creator. He is just freaking amazing. He's so fun to watch. If you don't know Walter, connect with him on LinkedIn. Greg, have you seen any of his stuff on?
I have. Yeah, I do enjoy him. Yeah.
My favorite is when he stands there. He doesn't say anything, and he just looks at the camera or looks off to the side as the wait music is happening. And then he shows a picture of a doctor's prescription, and you absolutely can't read it. And you know he's waiting to talk to the pharmacist or the physician, the doctor. And it's just little things like that really, his audience is probably more pharmacists and technicians than anyone. But he's getting a huge audience, and he's getting recognized by brands that want him to talk about their brand because of how popular he's becoming. So, L'Oreal has reached out to him, and some other organizations, and he's a superstar. I was not surprised to see him making the list, coming in at number 17. Dr. Walt, known as, I think, the Fit Pharmacist on LinkedIn and Instagram, you'll find him. But search him up. You will not be disappointed. His content is hilarious. But Walt, you promised me you're coming on Twerk, so we have to get that scheduled. So we will follow up with you. So congratulations. Okay, coming in at number 16, Renee Rayberg, pharmacist in specialty pharmacy. And Renee has been to the studios before, and I want to welcome Renee back. Welcome you and congratulations for making the Pharmacy 50, coming in at number 16. Renee, congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Renee.
Thank you.
So tell us what you do, because everybody that was standing out as we were having some drinks and we were hobnobbing, everybody's like, we want to hear from Renee because of how interesting the data analytics and kind of the side of you taking data, making sense with it, butting it up against PBM data. Describe to us what you do at it's PSG.
Correct.
PSG.
Yep. Pharmaceutical Strategies Group. I am a clinical pharmacist consultant. We do pharmacy consulting. And so we work with payer clients mostly, and we are working to relentlessly advocate for our payer clients to develop strategies and solutions to better manage their drug spend. So whether it's in the procurement process with RFP procurements, audits, things like that, or in the clinical consulting that I do, like bridging that gap with HR departments and teams that are very knowledgeable, but kind of lean on us for support in terms of understanding what decisions they need to make with their PBMs and their vendors.
So when you came down and you were on Twerks, you and I were talking about specialty pharmacy specifically. And I was saying, when you come back, we can't do it now because we don't have the time. But when you do come back, I kind of want to take a specific disease state and then dissect it based on what PSG does, and then be able to use that as an example so that I could go to small PBMs or whatever and get them involved in roundtable discussions. So give us an example of something that you've worked up in the past that kind of connects all the dots about what PSG does?
So it's all about the data and just kind of understanding what is driving and being able to identify what's driving the trend. So in specialty pharmacy, primarily, it's always been kind of inflammatory conditions, and so it's been an interesting industry right now because we've got the top drugs in that category having biosimilars enter the market, like Humira, and now we've got Stelara that have biosimilars coming out this year. One just launched in January. So understanding, what is their spend? How much does this matter? Are there any savings opportunities? How do I wrap my arms around what it is? I've been working for PSG for about 10 and a half years, but we've done a lot of work since, 2015 and 2016 with hepatitis C. And, the clients keep saying, what's next, right? What's the next hepatitis C? And meanwhile, I think we'd all go back to hepatitis C because it was about $84,000 for 12 weeks of treatment. So now we've got gene therapies and other things. So would love to come back and have the conversation and just explain how important the data is and really understanding, what you're spending your money on.
Absolutely. We want to have you back. We appreciate you. We want to say once again, congratulations for making the list and for making a difference, really, and taking your pharmacist background and becoming somebody that can kind of unravel the mystery of the data, because it's always a mystery to me, and being able to make sense of it. So congratulations, though. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. Incredibly honored.
Absolutely.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right. Continuing with this amazing list of the Pharmacy 50 most influential, coming in at number 15, Greg Reibold. And we classified him as pharmacy law, but Greg is a networker. He is someone who really cares. His work on PBM reform is absolutely astounding and just amazing about what he's done. He's joined me on several podcasts with Representative Auchincloss, who's a rock star out there in the great state of, I think that is Connecticut. I think he is in Connecticut. No, I'm sorry, Massachusetts, Boston, Massachusetts. And Greg, a shout out to you. It's the buying group is AC. I can't remember the acronym now. There's so many alphabet soups in my mind. But he is going to be returning and helping us with the PBM Reform podcast. He's going to be bringing in his guests. He's going to be bringing in lawmakers and continue to build knowledge and advocacy around the edges and the very specifics of PBM reform. A lot of the laws that come out, a lot of the new things that come out on PBM reform, I hear from people like Greg, where the bills are missing something. And it's people like Greg that are going to be able to fill in those gaps to make sure that the big PBMs don't retool and then come out with something that's just as non-patient caring as some of their standard tools are. But congratulations, Greg, that you've been recognized by your peers as the 15th most influential person in pharmacy. So congratulations. Chelsea Hudsterd, Specialty Pharmacy. Congratulations for making the list. A brand new name, pharmacy ranking number 14. Excited to have you on the list, Chelsea, of standing out, leading in specialty pharmacy. Excited that you made the list. These are the types of people that we want on our shows to be able to define how you're making a difference, what exactly that you're doing, what you're working on, and what you're most interested in. So congratulations to you, Chelsea, for making the Pharmacy 50. Randy McDonough. Geez, nobody should not know Randy. I mean, he travels, he goes to some of the pharmacy schools. I saw him at the University of Pittsburgh School of Pharmacy. He comes in at number 13. Randy is a fighter. He's part of the NCPA. I think he's either their oncoming president or part of their group. Just an amazing pharmacy owner. He's so concentrated on what he's done. The evolution of his own businesses has just been phenomenal, but it's the advocacy work and it's the give back of his intelligence and his experience of what he pours back into the industry as a lifer in pharmacy. And we just want to give you a shout out, Randy. Got to have you back on the shows for Twerks and This Week in Pharmacy, so that we can really dig into what you've been working on, and what advice that you can give us in next stages of running a successful community pharmacy, especially some of the new programs that are going to be coming out. But a shout out to you, Randy, and what you're doing, and congratulations. All right, another TikTok star. I tell you what, how much social media is impacting our lives. Dr. Ethan Melilio, and what he has done with his own brand, how he works with L'Oreal skincare unit, and how he's used TikTok to educate consumers, how he's using Instagram and social media to educate consumers. He has an enormous following. I can't remember how many thousands of people are following him, and people will just send him random messages. He'll take the message, he'll post the message as he's talking, and then he demystifies and unravels the incorrect information. I love when he does that. He'll say things to consumers and be like, "This is not true," you know. And then another thing I love that he does is he'll take like the Dayquils or some over-the-counter substance, and he'll basically dissect it and tell you how this isn't work or this is crap and why are you buying this, and then he actually tells you or gives you advice as to what to buy. But Ethan is a star. He's obviously been recognized as one of the most influential people in pharmacy, but he's having a massive effect. There's the majority of the people that you'll see on this list stay within that B2B world, whereas Ethan is reaching out into the consumer world. And I think that we need more pharmacists to put themselves out there and to start talking to the public about different things. And because, Greg, when you put something over the counter, people think, oh, there's no danger to this. It's over the counter. So I could, the dose says take 2 every 4 hours. I have a real headache. I'm going to take 6. And like Ethan will come on and tell you, this is what's going to happen to your body if you do this. And he demystifies and kind of makes it easier to understand. But we need more of that.
We certainly do. And Ethan, I remember at ASHP, he was at a booth, and I want to say there were probably 60 pharmacy students in line to take their pictures with him. But a lot of discussion over technology and leveraging it. It's been sort of a double-edged sword. The technology has, in a way, given a lot of this knowledge and access to this to information that we've as practitioners had almost exclusive access to and knowledge of, making it public. And I don't know how many favors that has done the profession, since the internet has been in existence, whereas people like Ethan show the value of pharmacists and pharmacy and that knowledge. So we need more people like Ethan, and these influencers that are leveraging social media to really drive not just the knowledge out there, but perceptions of the profession.
Yeah. And to make things easier to understand because of the complexity, and doing it with respect and poise. And he's funny to watch. And congratulations. He just got, I think, married early or late last year. And I can't wait to see where his career goes. And I'll be watching him, and hopefully we'll get him on This Week in Pharmacy. All right. Coming in at number 11, a superstar in military, Cody Marcom. Dr. Marcom has been recognized as the 11th most influential person in pharmacy. He's in the United States Air Force. I've met him at several of the APHA meetings. He's absolutely delightful to talk to. He's so intelligent, and he sticks out by his peers as someone who is truly an influencer. A shout out to you, Cody. I'm going to invite you on the show to follow up and for us to dig in what life is like as a military pharmacist, and how that can differentiate from pharmacists in other sectors, especially with our veterans. We have a T-shirt, U.S. Farmy, and I'm going to make Cody wear one when he comes on the show. So we have to get him Give him a U.S. Army shirt.
It's interesting what you were talking about technicians earlier. We had Mike earlier in one of the recognitions, but it would be great if you could get him talking about the privileges that pharmacy technicians have in military pharmacies and what they are allowed to do, with those pharmacies.
Cool. Is there like a differentiation between that and the out of the military?
I mean, I don't know the ins and outs specifically, but I do know they have a much more expanded area of responsibilities than you would outside of the military.
We'll have to dig in.
Needle them on those questions.
Absolutely.
It'll be very interesting.
Okay. We're coming up to the last 10, the 10 most influential people in our pharmacy ecosystem. And coming in at number 10 is Dr. Robin Barrett. I've talked to Dr. Robin several times online. I've never met her in person yet. I definitely am going to someday. But what an entrepreneur. She has an app, a fitness app. She partners with, she has a company called Refuel. She is an Instagram and TikTok star. She's done many movies where she's an actress in some of the movies. She is a huge influencer by spanning the difference between our business to business environments versus our business to consumers. There are so many people that flock to her pages for information. I'm proud that she made the list. She's coming in at number 10. Once again, Dr. Robin Barrett, PharmD. If you are listening and you don't know about Robin, just go to Google, put in Robin Barrett, PharmD, and you'll definitely find her. She has so much content out there. She's extremely professional. And like I said, if you're into fitness and you want to merge fitness with medication, if you're on medications, reach out to her, get her app involved. Her app helps you track your fitness goals. And just ask her questions because she's very personal and very approachable. So congratulations, Robin. Number 9, Dr. April Nguyen. And in entrepreneurship, we have to follow up with Dr. Nguyen. We love the energy. I've hooked up with her through LinkedIn. I've had some chatted, haven't had an opportunity to actually meet you. Nor I've never actually interviewed you, so definitely want to interview you about your entrepreneurship journey, because people that are in pharmacy that want to go entrepreneur, they need guidance from people like April. I want to congratulate you for making and being the 9th most influential pharmacist based on your peers and voting you for the Pharmacy 50. But congratulations, April. Okay, a repeat offender. I think this next pharmacist is probably been how many times now? Is it like 4 times? 4 times. Goodness gracious. It is so good to have you here. What is up? Where are you coming in? You're piping in live from Tampa right now, right?
Yes. And can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, thank God my mic is on. How are you? Thank you for having me 4 years in a row. And I'm in the pharmacy in my office.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You are a hilarious TikToker yourself, and the Instagram that you do with your team, I watch your videos and look forward to them every day. I know that's like the minute part of your world, of everything that you do for your patients and your community. But nonetheless, why do you think you keep showing back up on the list? There's people that love you and want you to be part of this, but you are so influential. Like what is Shada doing that you're going back?
I have no clue. I guess people still like me. I don't know. My peers, I guess they like me, I guess.
They absolutely like you, but it's your leadership too. I want to talk to you about IPC board of directors chair and really helping to form what's best for the way that IPC is growing. I'm going to eventually have you on about iCare Plus, but have you taken that platform on yet as part of what you're doing in your pharmacy?
Yes. and I'm an IPC board member, not the chair. Gosh, that is Vicky. Definitely not me. It's too much for me. Yes, I am an iCare Plus user with IPC as well. So, and yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
But you've also volunteered to be a new host of the Pharmacy Crossroads podcast as well. So you're just a glutton for punishment. We just keep bringing you back and throwing microphones at your face.
I know, and you know how much I love public speaking. So thank you, Todd.
Yeah. So by the way, listeners, be on the listener out or the lookout. Shada will be returning on the Pharmacy Crossroads show, an expansion of Bruce Nealon's show, teaming up with three other incredible pharmacy advocates and people in the business of pharmacy: Chris Ray, Adam Robinson, and Stacy Hall, who is the CEO of the Florida Pharmacists Association, and that's your home association.
Yes, it is. We love Stacy and Chris and Adam.
And Bruce.
And Bruce. Yes, the OG. Yes, of course.
That's right. Well, I want to congratulate you. Thank you so much for the support that you've given to us and me. You've been a listener forever. You've got me in front of big organizations that are now turning in our sponsor. One of our sponsors is IPC. I want to give a shout out to IPC for their support and the support that you've given to Shada and all of the pharmacy members and the pharmacy owner members. But Shada, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for taking time out of your busy day. So now you can go back and get your stuff, because everybody's not working right now. Everybody's out in the room doing whatever they want.
Yes, I gotta go. I gotta go watch them.
Thank you so much. See ya. Shada is one of my favorite people in pharmacy. It's just so much fun to work with and listen to and learn from. All right. We are coming up to number 7. Number 7 is Darshan Kulkarni. Dr. Kulkarni is a lawyer, a pharmacist. If you're on LinkedIn, you definitely know Darshan with all of his content. He's a member of the Pharmacy Podcast Network with a podcast called Darshan Talks. He does some amazing interviews. He actually was going to be part of this event, but he had to go to India. He has family things that are happening. He will be back, but be on the lookout. We have Shark Week that we do, Legal Shark Week, to talk to you about the sharks of the waters of the ecosystem of pharmacy and what to look out for. But congratulations to Darshan for making the list at number 7 of the 50 most influential pharmacists for our people in pharmacy. Okay, this next guy, my goodness, Jeremy Counts. Dr. Counts is an amazing advocate. He's a powerhouse. He released a video this morning. If you are on Instagram, especially, but also TikTok, and I think he has it out on Facebook, it's hilarious. I wanted to show it, couldn't get it actually on. I was trying to re-record it and be able to show you, but he is hilarious. He has a podcast spirit. He does the PBM. He does a PBM on the Rocks podcast through Pharmacists United for Truth and Transparency. It is fun to watch. They do drink as they're talking. Can you imagine, Greg, talking about PBMs and having an adult beverage? Like, those two things definitely go together. But if you don't know Jeremy, you're listening, you will thank me by following him on Twitter, on Instagram. But a shout out to you, Jeremy. You know you owe me a twerks. You're going to be coming on This Week in Pharmacy. We're going to be talking. I want to do stuff with you guys, but congratulations that you were recognized as the 6th most influential person in our pharmacy profession. Thank you. Okay. Our number 6 is coming in, Navita. I want to say Gorapati. Navita is a LTC pharmacist. She comes in at number 6. She had a ton of votes coming in from several organizations that I knew were other long-term care pharmacies. So you have a strong network, Navita, who believes in you. We had votes coming in that were, I think, from even facilities. I could tell just by the email address. But once again, people that are being recognized by if I get an award and I get an award from my peers, that means more to me because I'm in the same work as them. And I feel like they get it. They understand what I go through. So that's why another reason that this is an important award that we want to continue to build out. But congratulations. And we'd like to understand more of what you're doing in the geriatric field. So we'll definitely be following back up with you. All right. Coming in at number 4, Dr. Jeff Harrell, who I've met several times. The last time I got to see Jeff was at the Cardinal RBC. He dressed up as, I think, one of the KISS members. I can't remember which KISS member it was, but this guy is towering, I think, at like 6'2" or 4, and then he had platform boots on. So I want to say he was way over 7 foot. It was amazing. It was a good time. But the personality that Jeff has, the intelligence that Jeff has, how much work he's doing. He actually couldn't even be here today because of his work of another association, and how important his community is to him and to his family, and the work and the advocacy that he does for our community pharmacies and his work as an independent community pharmacy owner. I want to give a shout out to you, Jeff, Dr. Harrell, for being an important part of our ecosystem and an alumni of the Pharmacy 50 now. So you are now part of the Pharmacy 50 forever. Okay, I want to bring to the stage Dr. Nu Throng, who is coming in at number 3. She's a consultant pharmacist. She is a breath of fresh air. She is inspiring, and I want to welcome you, Dr. Nu, to the Pharmacy 50 and congratulate you for being the 3rd most voted Pharmacy 50 Awards member, and welcome. I think you have your microphone muted right now. Or probably what happened is she's like, wow, this is a long awards presentation.
That is
Walk away from my desk.
I am actually picking my kids up from school. And so earlier I hop on the laptop and then I hop on the phone. So now you're hearing me from the phone. And so I'm going to put my camera in real second. And so you can see, so you can hear mommy do these. And that's one of the things I think as fellow pharmacists and our healthcare profession, pharmacy tech, who are working in the field, who
True.
really needs more of the, but you mentioned what inspiration or a breath air that come back to you, Todd, and the Pharmacy Podcast Network team, because of all you do and the inspirations for all that you do daily, but also how do we lift up and inspire others to move beyond what they think is blocking, right? Blocking the whatever that they feel like they need to do the change, you can be an advocate for. So give me 1 second. Let me turn on the lights. I'm in the office now. So that is the things that I think we go with the flow, but how do we help our fellow with the mindset so that way we can make changes and all the things that's coming in 2025. I think there's a lot of challenges, but it's also a lot of innovations and a lot of progress for all of us to move forward.
Absolutely.
So let me see if I can get my mic
Now tell our
on.
listeners what sector of pharmacy that you're in, because we had listed you as a consultant pharmacist.
So my background, or you want me as for now, Todd?
Yeah, just what you're doing now.
So now I guess playing double. There's a piece of advocacy. I'm doing a little bit of everything. The entrepreneurship, the consulting, but also the advocacy for our professions to move forward. And so that's kind of like thing. And one of the things that you see, some of my movement is that I want to bring back how the kindness, because it starts with leaders in healthcare, leaders in all the sectors. I notice that's the gap. Then that's what I'm seeing, the mindset that how we need to shift. And I think because I've been there, I've known that there's a lot of changes, a lot of things that we see that we need to make the changes, but it all comes to how do we make that move? And it's risking our professions, our financial stability, all of that. And that is what, a lot of our fellows winners here are doing, is it's really for paving the way for the next generations, the next PharmD, the next pharmacy technicians that are that they feel stuck, but they know that there's things that they want to unblock and create innovations for. And so when they do that, that's when they see other people who can relate to, and they want to do it too. Let me see. Am I there?
There you are. There
Can
you
you
are.
see me,
Yes.
Todd?
Yeah. Yep.
So thank you. It's crazy. I know. I did not believe it, Todd, until I literally was doing multitask, and then I logged on. I was like, wait, I made it to number three. What? I did not even, and I was sharing. I did not really, because I know that. Oh my goodness, I'm going to show up to support all my fellows, winners, and the nominees. But that it's more of I'm honored. I'm grateful for all that you and the pharmacy podcast network team and all the people who nominate believe in us. But also it comes back to our whole profession. This is not it's not about us, it's not about me, but I think what it needs is how can we collectively bring more, shine the light in our professions. And
Yep.
I think that is what's needed, because for me, I see everything as kindness. I see things that we need a change, a revolution of what it needs to be, and the heart and center of the patient and the people working in the force right now, people working the back end everywhere. So that is what we have a lot to do, but I'm just so grateful, Todd. I'm just thrilled and to be here, and I'm honored. Thank you for all you do. I know your hard works, wife, and three kids, and the daughters are looking after and really looking up to you, because now you can show them what they can do. Nothing they can't do. There's nothing, right? Anything that they want, they can go forward.
It's true. It's true. I like the interaction of your LinkedIn and your LinkedIn lives. I want you to continue doing that. We have to do some kind of mashup in 2025. And I just want to say once again, we're so proud of you and your representation of what pharmacy care is supposed to be, from the love that you put out there in your network. And we very much appreciate your support. And want to say once again, congratulations for now being a member of the Pharmacy 50 for life.
Thank you. Thank you. Much love to you. And, just to share, this is a Lunar New Year, and this is what a great way to bring in the first of the New Year's for the Lunar New Year's. So, all those fellow who are celebrating that, I wish everyone, not only the New Year's with great prosperity, great health, but all success and for the well being of everyone. So, much love to you. Prayers to everyone. Love.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll see you soon, Nu. Thank you so much.
Yes. Bye, Todd.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
All right. She's a breath of fresh air. Such a fighter for her patients, but it's her network that means a lot. Thank you so much. All right. Number 2, Jay Phipps, Dr. Phipps. I've had him on several of our podcasts. He is known as the pharmacy gladiator. He's a pharmacy owner. He's a fighter. He is an advocate for pharmacy care, for PBM reform. I can't think of anything that this man hasn't touched in pharmacy, and what he's done and how he's built up his own community during disaster. I think there was a major flood in Tennessee, I want to say 3 or 4 years ago, and how his one of his pharmacies that didn't get hit became a refuge and became a central point, not only for medications, but also baby formula and diapers and water, and how it became the center of the rebuilding of their community. And from that, he's now formed something called the Pharmacy Gladiators, and he's working on advocacy for pharmacists, technicians, and collaborative teams to go into their communities and make differences, and how you can make a difference if you just take a stand, and all pharmacy owners do that anyway. But I just want to give you a shout out, Jay. I'm so proud of you. I'm proud that you're my friend. I actually have your phone number in my mobile phone, and being able to connect with you and learn from you. I can't wait to see you at some of the upcoming conferences. And with that, I want to welcome Dr. Jay Phipps to the program and say welcome and congratulations.
Well, thank you very much, Todd, and thank you for RX Insider and IPC for sponsoring this. It's exciting to watch this list of people. It reminds me of a quote that people are rewarded in public for what they practice in private. And so if you look at these practitioners, they've been practicing in private, and they really have, this is a big award for them, for myself, but just it's because we care about the profession and our patients is why we're here. And to me, that's super exciting. And to see the impact that pharmacists make across the country is amazing.
So when did you start Pharmacy Gladiator? Because I feel like it was the first time I recognized it, it was like maybe two APHAs ago or something like that.
Yeah, it's been about 18 months or so. Honestly, it's really interesting. You think of the journey on social media. I believe my first LinkedIn post was just barely over 2 years ago, if you can believe that. And really started through Pharmacy Gladiators and trying to figure out like what's different, like what resonates. And pharmacists, we really do battle for our patients. We battle for our profession. And to me, it's how we try to conquer that Coliseum in our communities and how we can really move the profession forward. It's a little counterintuitive to what some people think of pharmacists, because sometimes people think of pharmacists as not being warriors, but to me, we are, and we're really working for that profession. So hopefully it inspires people to overcome the challenges we face and to really stand with a different power about yourself. When you, it's hard to say Pharmacy Gladiator in a timid voice or position. You really have to, your chest gets up a little bit and you talk about it. And all the people on the Pharmacy 50 are all Pharmacy Gladiators, in my opinion. They're really working for our profession.
They really are. They're making a difference, and you're making a difference. Greg, have you met Jay yet?
I have not. No,
I can't wait. Yet. I can't wait for you to meet him. He's just infectious, I guess you could say. I guess I got a kind of positive word. It's just impactful and inspiring, and it's real. It's what you're doing in the real world. I love telling the story, not necessarily about the horrible disaster of the community, but how you stood up and how your pharmacy stood up and how you guys became, ground zero for, supplies and that's before you even came up with the name Pharmacy Gladiator. This is what, 4 years ago?
It was 2021. August of 21. So it really has been a big journey, but you're right. I think independent pharmacists and then pharmacists in general really are that center of the community. We're the one taking care of people. And so whether it's day in and day out and you're dealing with flu patients or COVID patients, or whether you're dealing with natural disasters, the pharmacy and the pharmacy team in there is the one that really is the focus to provide that high level of care. And our team did a phenomenal job, and really proud of, and that started building that culture really in our organization. Honestly, that started moving things differently, where we became more team focused instead of employee focused, and really changed my perspective and changed the way that we do things really on a daily basis.
Well, I want to thank you for piping in. I know how busy you are. I can't wait to see you in an upcoming conference. I can't remember which one. Are you going to APHA or NCPA?
Yeah, I'll be at both, and I appreciate all your support you give on social media. The big thing this year for me is our Freedom from Fear tour, where I'm trying to overcome 100 fears in a year to inspire people to do big things. From yesterday was hiring somebody to been parasailing. My plan is to swim with great whites this year, do some crazy things to inspire people to overcome their fear, because fear holds us back. And to me, that's my next level of how do we impact people, and how do we use that as a keynote address to organizations so that we can inspire them to be better organizations, better people, better moms and dads and sisters and brothers in our communities.
I love it. I love it. All right, sir. Thank you so much for making time for us and for all that you do. I can't wait to continue to work with you. We're definitely going to follow up and have you back on the shows, but congratulations for being the second ranking Pharmacy 50 of 2024 alumni class of 2024.
Thank you all very much. Y'all have a wonderful day, and thanks for your support.
Congratulations, Jay.
All right. Well, here we are. We are talking about the most influential person, the person that got the most votes, which I'm so excited about. He's a friend of mine. I've known him for years, but the votes just kept pouring in. I think the next one to Jay down was nearly 150. So just blew it out of the water. The number one most influential person in our profession of pharmacy is Dr. Anthony Manini. Not Dr. It's just Anthony Manini. It's a registered pharmacist. And I'm excited that he's actually here in the studio. I can't believe that he actually made the trip from New Jersey, from Philadelphia. And I just want to say congratulations, Anthony, and for making the Pharmacy 50.
Well, thanks, Todd. I mean, honestly, there is. Now, listen, I'm from Camden, New Jersey. So when we hear something like that, it usually triggers a response, and it's not usually a joyful one. But no, thank you so much, Todd. I mean, wow, there's nowhere I'd want to be more than here right now doing this. I thought the biggest thrill of my life was making number 49 in the inaugural class. I still saved that message you sent me that likewise had some sort of celebratory pop to it. But wow, to be voted number one is just it's an incredible honor. It's humbling to all my colleagues out there. Thank you. I'm glad that you appreciate my daily rants on social media. And with all due respect to Dr. Phipps, if he really wants to get interested in overcoming fears and death defiance, the only great whites he needs to swim with are the ones that I've been swimming with at Optum, CVS, and Express Scripts. And I got to tell you, go through that and you'll understand something about trying to overcome fear.
Yeah, I bet you he does as a pharmacy owner, but goodness gracious, to make that list and me see the votes that were coming in for you is just it's wonderful, and it tells me that the advocacy that you're putting out there, the education that you're putting out there, the involvement that you're involved in what you do. Talk to our listeners, tell them a little bit about, you have a pharmacy, you have a dispensary, you are an advocate that is being looked at for guidance around state regulations. Talk to our listeners a little bit about your background.
Well, I come from a bit of an interesting background. I decided I wanted to be a pharmacist when I was 14 years old, and that was 1984. So I've been at this for a while, and sitting around and always having to be a part of discussions about everything that was wrong and challenging about pharmacy. I always thought to myself, wow, if only somebody could hear us. And that's what's so outstanding about what Pharmacy Podcast Network provides. I mean, even being on social media is great. But the opportunity that we're given to have our voices heard is something that I couldn't have even dreamed about. And, I don't always advocate for independent pharmacy per se, although it's usually the business of pharmacy that I'm most fascinated with. I got into pharmacy because it's a degree that you could just do so much with. And my focus is in the community and coming up with innovative models that are more entrepreneurial in nature. But what's great about having the Pharmacy 50 and having the Pharmacy Podcast Network is it really highlights to those who are considering getting into a medical profession the breadth of opportunity that you have in the profession of pharmacy. And that's so unique. You don't see that in every other profession. You're a doctor and you practice in a certain fashion, or, you're a nurse and there's certain things that you can do. With pharmacy, it's almost limitless. And what the Pharmacy 50 shows you is if you feel like this is something you want to do, if this is a passion of yours, there's an example, there's a luminary just within the 50 that you've named that you say, that's me. And I understand how special that is because being 54 years old, I was only exposed to the world of independent retail pharmacy, and I never dreamed of all of this opportunity that was out there, but it was. And what this platform does is it really highlights that. And I can't speak to the importance of that enough. Oftentimes, everybody seems like they're a little bit down on our profession. Maybe people feel like things are a little more difficult. This demonstrates, and it gives us hope, and it gives us also validation that the profession of pharmacy has never been better than it is right now, never more exciting. And to those who are feeling like things are a little bit difficult in our profession for pharmacists right now with independent pharmacy closures and even the problems that some of the chain stores are having and the retail side of pharmacy, how do we find our way in these new dynamics with Amazon and all these challenges and PBMs? We are seeing history right now. We're seeing a history that I never thought I would be around to see. And this is the time when I encourage everyone to get involved, make your voices heard. PBM reform. They've been talking about PBM reform since PBMs began.
Mhm.
And we had a bill come within a whisker of passing that would have changed the entire game of PBMs.
Mhm.
From just what it shows you the way that politicians and those that are making decisions actually pay attention to us and hear our voices and hear the things that Jeremy Counts is talking about and PBM on the rocks. And even some of my more fire and brimstone at the PBM ideas, there was actually a bill that seems so common sense to remove PBMs from the pharmacy business, which really would solve all the problems of retail pharmacy, of the PBM reform. If you removed PBMs from being allowed to write checks to themselves,
Yeah.
which, how crazy of an idea. What other
Doesn't make any
sector of
sense.
insurance does the insurance company write checks to itself? It doesn't exist. Everybody would think that's ludicrous.
Right.
It's right in front of us every day with the PBMs, and only now, with the work of Senator Hawley and Senator Warren, a bill to strip PBMs and prohibit them from owning pharmacies, which
Yep.
is the most fundamental thing that we can do for the profession of retail independent pharmacy, of retail pharmacy, and for our patients. Access is almost gone in most of our most vulnerable communities. Fixing that dynamic and allowing all of the great innovations you're seeing from all the luminaries that are in the Pharmacy 50 to be able to go back into the community and to know that they can invest in a practice that's sustainable, that's rewarding, and they won't be run out of business or terrorized by an insurance company who wants their patients to go to their pharmacy.
Right.
What a great way to improve patient care and expand those opportunities. And when you're giving independent business people, independent practitioners, the ability to invent, that's where innovation is going to come from more than anything. You can't create innovation in a lab. Every individual pharmacist that's practicing knows what's best for their community, and they will develop a practice model that will serve those patients best. And maybe that can be duplicated in other areas and other ideas come. I can't tell you how many ideas I got today just sitting in the waiting room and talking. And that even extends to the opportunities that come along with what we've done by bringing cannabis back to Bell Pharmacy and having pharmacy and the cannabis industry coexisting in the hopes that we can move patients from more addictive medications like opiates and benzodiazepines and even SSRIs and get them onto more natural herbal remedies, which is really what cannabis is, that doesn't have the same levels of addictive potential, doesn't have a risk of overdose. Wow. To be able to bring that to a community and to have pharmacy at the center of that, what a tremendous opportunity. And it's right there. And I try to highlight that in our practice in the hopes that in the other 41 states where cannabis is legalized, the pharmacist might look at the model that we've developed that is compliant, that is replicable throughout all the states. And I've advised countless pharmacists across the country and how to set this up and how to make it work. But building a practice that brings together the pharma side with how we can truly help patients migrate from pharmaceuticals to more natural remedies. It's bringing together, we called it the nutraceutical approach, but really it's an alternative approach to therapy where the patients can definitely benefit. And those are changes that we as pharmacists are empowered to make, whereas we can't always do that due to our subordination to different prescribers. We can do this with cannabis, and we can work with prescribers to really bring this mainstream. And we're right on the cusp of it. And I really want to demonstrate what I do to get more pharmacists involved in exploring the benefits of cannabis therapy. But beyond that, as I always say, being a recovering politician for many years, and I always say we're not the smartest individuals. We have to make things pretty basic. We need to get out there and we need to present these common sense solutions. And whether it's just posting on social or it's coming on Pharmacy Podcast Network and utilizing this tremendous platform to amplify your voice, believe it or not, they listen. We politicians do listen. We're no strangers to stealing good ideas and calling them our own. But the latest one that we have in New Jersey is the move back towards fee for service. And without going too deeply and taking another hour of your time, as I like to do, Todd, if I were to go to any elected official and say, hey, what if I were able to solve the problem of pharmacy access, pharmacy deserts, service to underserved populations, improving healthcare outcomes, while fostering small business growth, job opportunities in pharmacy deserts and urban communities, and save tax dollars. I can do that for you with this plan. Every politician all day long would say, absolutely, show me.
Yep.
And that's what we're starting to be able to do here in New Jersey. When I started out, all my friends in the 90s laughed at me because they thought I was crazy for going into a city like Camden while they went to more posh suburbs and to the various chains, most of which are no longer in existence. And I said, in the city of Camden, we have probably a 90% Medicaid patient rate. I said, I don't have to do prior authorizations. I don't have to battle with formularies. I'll never forget the first time I ever heard of a prior authorization or formulary was a plan called Cigna that we refused to even accept at the time. But we had fair reimbursements, community outcomes and care was at the top. And then in the 90s, they migrated to what they call the managed care organizations, which is another word for PBMs. And it's all gone. And it takes a very long time to get that back. In Camden, we're down to under 10 pharmacies for 85,000 residents. Jeez. All the chains have left. In fact, all the chains have left within a 5-mile radius of Camden. And there is such great need, and it's a huge problem. But we have the solution. And hopefully we're going to demonstrate that in New Jersey. I make that the real focus of what we're trying to demonstrate in this new year. And one of the great things, and again, thank you to all that voted and giving me this platform to be able to express this. We're going to show how you can fix the pharmacy desert problem. It's really simple. And I just outlined it, and it's a win-win-win-win for all involved. And if not for Pharmacy Podcast Network, this would just be another PBM on the rocks where we just complain about woe is the state of pharmacy, and we sit there and we enjoy a few pitchers of beer before we get up and do it again the next day.
That sounds fun, though.
That is a lot of fun, but but it's also great to be able to share what we feel and to understand that there's other voices out there with us. There are pharmacy gladiators that are fighting alongside of us. And for those of us that are so we're so occupied in trying to stay in business and take care of our communities and all the things that we have to do. We can't always make it to NCPA or APHA or all the big national conventions. To be able to look at this and say, you know what, we're not alone. And I couldn't make it to the convention, but if I go on Pharmacy Podcast Network, I can learn about so much of what I didn't get to see by missing that attendance.
Mm-hmm.
And as I've always encouraged, this is not just for pharmacists. We should be encouraging all of our fellow healthcare colleagues to tune in and listen to this podcast to hear about a lot of the grassroots efforts that are happening, a lot of these great innovative models and ideas that they could also participate in with us. You get that all here. And that's why I say, Todd, thank you so much for what you do.
Oh, thank you.
I can never say enough about how important this is. And to think that after 40 years in this profession, to see the success of it accelerating, it's just something I never thought was possible. I never thought I would ever be the #1 most influential pharmacist. Most people just say I talk too much. But again, Todd, thank you, and everybody out there, thank you so much for I guess appreciating the things I have to say.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tony, and everything that you're doing, not only for Camden, but it's an example, influence this platform. It's the famous saying, Uncle Ben in the Spider-Man movie, with great power comes great responsibility. And last year's #1 winner, Nadia Ahmad, took every opportunity to leverage the exposure of her being a leader. And she impacted 6 pharmacy schools and her own, influence at Walgreens, and all of her technicians and her pharmacists and the physicians that knew about the award that she got. Like, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to use this award to show you, listen, my peers told me and told us as a profession that you were the most influential. And the reason is because of our dispensary, because of our belief in PBM reform, because of our advocacy in the community, because of our connection with politicians, because of and it's list. So when you've accepted this award for this next 11 months left in 2025, it's like, okay, we're going to pass the baton to the next bunch of 50 to have that big of an impact on our communities. And it's going to happen over and over and over again. So it's this domino effect. So I am so proud of you. I've watched your career since we've hooked up on LinkedIn nearly over 10 years ago, and what you've been doing. And it was no surprise that you made the list. I was excited to see that you got #1. Anthony Minetti, you are our Pharmacy 50's #1 most influential pharmacist. I can't wait to have you back on Twerks. I do want to say and give a shout out to Greg for being here and for being my co-host today in this program, and for the support of RX Insider. I want to say thank you to the listeners. I want to say thank you to IPC for making this, once again, these awards possible. This was the 50 most influential leaders in pharmacy 2024 presentation. And you're looking at the #1 guy right over there in the studio, Anthony. And like I said, I want to thank you. Please be safe in driving home, since you came into the studio. You have a 5-hour drive back?
Todd, as I get older, 5 hours in the car with nobody bothering me is probably about the most relaxation I could probably get. I do have 17-year-old triplets. So.
You can listen to all the podcasts. We have 6 per week that go out there, so you can consume probably 6 in that time. But hey, I just wanted to say thank you once again to the listeners. Thank you so much for being part of this, for spending your afternoon with the pharmacy. If you're watching this after it broadcast, please reach out to us at the Pharmacy Podcast Network. Reach out and figure out how you can get involved, how you can make a difference. It's not me, it's me supporting you. So it's really you as the leader in being an influencer. You are an influencer, you are a change maker, and remember that. And with that, I'd like to say thank you for listening to this episode, this of the 2024, the 50 most influential leaders in